In case y'all have been living under the biggest rock in the world, legendary television host and journalist, talk show host, however you want to call them, Larry King passed away today, and I'm recording this video on January 23rd at the age of 87. Now, what's crazy about this whole thing is you just had the passing of Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron just passed away yesterday on the 22nd. And you also, if you didn't know, the actor who played Julio on Sanford and Son also passed away this week. I'm not sure what day it was. I'm sure one of you who's watching this video will post that down in the comment section below. But what's so very interesting about all three is, one, they always say death come in threes, but what's also very, very interesting, I keep saying interesting a lot because it is, all three of these men were in their 80s. And I'm not talking about one was 80 and the other one was 89. We're talking about like they were in close proximity age, like 87, 86. And I think one was, I can't remember the other 80s one, but they were very close in age, which means they were all born in the same era. Like, that's wild. It's one thing when they say death happens in threes, but for all three of them to be in the same age bracket, like literally like not even a bracket, but literally in a bubble, because on a small bubble at that, because all their ages floated around close to each other. Now we know Hank Aaron. We know that he took the scene, and 2 weeks later he passes. Now, I forgot what they said he passed away from, because they said he had some kind of underlying illness. Now, Larry King, I don't know what the actor who played Julio, I don't know what he passed away from. But Larry King, it was no secret that Larry King had WOVID. Because back in November, it was breaking news that he was hospitalized due to contracting the virus. And he had to stay in the hospital for a good minute, like a week or so, because of complications, because of it. And he's older, so it takes a little bit of while longer. Then the last thing we heard about him was that he was released from the hospital, and you really didn't hear much about it anymore. And of him just recovering. And now, fast forward to today, the 23rd, he passes away. And they chalked it up to complications due to the virus. So when I heard the news that he had passed away, I said it was because of the virus, because he was really going through it. But it's unfortunate, because Larry King was definitely one of the most popular faces on late night television, and I can't think of one person that Larry King did not interview. He interviewed a wide array of people from all walks of life. And what I liked is that what set him apart from other talk show hosts and television, personalities who did that line of talking or line of work, is that he allowed people to actually come on there and really like talk and like have a conversation. Like, he may have had entertainers on his show every now and then, but he wasn't doing it to entertain his audience. Sure, it was an audience grab depending on who he had on his show, but he wasn't there just to entertain his audience. He allowed them to talk as if it was just them and him and that other person having a casual conversation between friends. And you can tell by looking at the conversations that he had that that's how it was. And it could have been a thing where he might have met these people that for the first time ever that day, and he would have a conversation with them as if he had known them for years. I can't say that I've watched every single show or interview that he's ever done, but I've actually seen some that he did. And a lot of times I would flip through the channels, and I would just go on to see. It was one thing that I can remember Larry King for, is that microphone. See that microphone that's right there in that picture? He never used, I'm sure he probably used it at one point in time, because it was always that same microphone. And I don't know if he would use it or if it was an operation over the years and he used it as a desk prop. But that microphone was always there. And one interview I remember is someone that he had on his show that was close to Michael Jackson. And this was back when Michael Jackson had first passed back in '09. And at that point, everybody wanted to interview somebody close to the Jackson family. But Larry King had interviewed some guy that was close to Michael Jackson. I forgot what the guy, how he knew him. And he had brought Michael Jackson's famous fedora. And it was actually Michael's hat that Michael wore. And he had gave it to Larry King. And I remember Larry King was so fascinated by like Larry King almost turned into like a big fan. Because, you know, Michael Jackson had that effect on a lot of people, especially if you was an adult. And throughout that rest of that interview, Larry King had wore Michael Jackson's fedora on his head for the rest of the interview. And this is a guy that would never wear anything on his head. So that was one memory that I have of watching his show. But he's definitely, you know, a legend without a doubt. Without a doubt, legend in journalism, a legend in being a talk show host, just an all-around legend. Has a lot of years under his belt. They said that he hosted Larry King Live on CNN for 25 years. So you're talking about 2.5 decades. That's a long time to do something like this. And then to go into it at his age. It's not like he started out doing this at a very, very young age. You know, you have a lot of talk show hosts that start very young, very young. He didn't really start out what I would say as considerably young as far as doing Larry King Live. He may have, of course, have been doing other things before, but when he came on to do Larry King Live, that's when he really blew up, as far as I know. Now, some of you down in the comment section who are a bit older than I am, you can let me know what other contributions to the field he had did. I was looking at the article and they said that his last day of his show was in November of 2010. That was the last time he did Larry King Live. You know, it's crazy, but you know, it's unfortunate. But they also said that he battled health problems over the years. He had several heart attacks. He underwent in 1987 a quintuple, which is 5 bypass surgeries. And they said that inspired him to establish the Larry King Cardiac Foundation to provide assistance to those who had no insurance. He said in 2017, he was diagnosed with lung cancer and he successfully underwent surgery to fix it. And then he said he also had a procedure in 2019 to address angina. And then they said he had lost 2 of his adult children. They said they died within weeks of each other. One was 65 and one was 52. One suffered a heart attack and the other one was diagnosed with lung cancer. So you got to think this guy had a bunch of complications medical wise throughout his life and outlived both of his children. I don't know how many kids he had, but they said 2, but that doesn't mean all of his children, but 2 of them. He outlived 2 of his kids. It's crazy. So, you know, it's just crazy. And the thing is, Larry King was so popular, he would get interviews with people that some people wish they could get interviews with. But that's just the kind of person that he was. He was able to, go above and beyond and gain the trust of people. I can't really think of Larry King throwing anyone under the bus, unlike one particular quote unquote talk show queen. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. I can't remember that. I don't remember hearing any of that. I can't even remember Larry King really being caught up in a scandal, to be quite honest. But yeah, it's crazy. He will definitely be he is a pioneer when it comes to his field. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I didn't want to go through and read the entire article. I'll leave the post, not the post, the article link in the description below, and you can actually read it for yourself because it's pretty lengthy. But it has a lot of information, a lot of backstory on him, especially like where he got started, to where his career kind of died down. Now, I mean, I hate that I use that word died down considering the circumstances, but, you know, started to fizzle. I'll just leave it at to where his career kind of took a stop. But RIP to Larry King, definitely a legend in the broadcasting industry. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you have not done so already, make sure to text the number down below in the comment section. It'll be pinned down there so you can receive notifications for every time I upload a new video. And I'll talk to you in the next one.